Hi there, welcome back. I'm Pete. This is my tractor. Sometimes I mess around on auction sites and do things I probably shouldn't do. This is probably one of those things. Anyway, this is a 1960 or 61 Allis Chalmers D15 Industrial. They made two flavors of the D15. They made an industrial and an agricultural. The agricultural is just called the D15. This one is the D15 Industrial. The industrial is yellow and not orange. The agricultural is orange, that reddish orange. And the industrial has a loader and a backhoe. This one does not have the backhoe. And the agricultural has things like the PTO and lift arms and stuff that would be there. This tractor does not have that. It's a pretty basic tractor. It has 4-speed transmission. It has what I believe that is called the shuttle or shuttle clutch. That's the forward and reverse. That's how you select forward and reverse gears. I have some gauges that are missing. But the biggest problem this tractor had was that the engine was seized. And when I went to go pick it up, I brought my tool truck and a new battery and bunch of other stuff. I was thinking, I'll just get it fired up and get it back down to the trailer and get it home. And my thinking was I could just do that pretty easily as long as the engine was not seized. Well, it was. And what had happened was, here's the cylinder head was here. The exhaust stack was kind of, it's kind of right in the middle. It went up right in between these two cylinders, and the muffler was snapped off, and the little flapper valve that sits on top of the muffler was broken, so rainwater got down into the exhaust pipe and down into the cylinder head and down into these two cylinders 2 and 3. So those two were seized up pretty tight. Cylinders 1 and 4 were loose, and I could tell when sorry, I'm right next to a busy street. When I bumped the starter, you could feel the tops of those pistons moving. So those were loose, but the center two were seized. So what I did was I took the head off and took the front suspension out. The front suspension comes off really easy. I just kind of scoot it over here to the side. Then you can get at the oil pan and at the bottom end of the engine. And I took about a 1/2-inch piece of brass, 1/2-inch dowel, long stick of dowel, brass dowel, and just knocked out the pistons from underneath, and I knocked out the sleeves. And here's an example of one of the sleeves. This is number 2. So let me see if I can see. It's I'll get a better view. Oh, there's a better view. There you go. It's pretty boogered up. There's a lot of rust in there and a lot of bad stuff. So anyway, these sleeves, they just fit down into the cylinder, the engine block, just like this. They slide down right into there, and this lip right here seats down into here, and there's a little protrusion between where this surface is a little bit proud of this surface, and there's actually a measurement you're supposed to take, which I will take. Focus, there we go. And that's what the piston slides up and down, and you can just knock these out and they come out the top. This one has a chamfer on the bottom because there are 2 O-rings that sit in there. Let's see if I can climb up there and get a better look at that block. Sorry about that. There's O-rings. They sit down there in those little grooves, and those O-rings seal against here, because on the outside of these sleeves, in this area of the block, coolant is flowing all around. So we get sealed up here with the cylinder, the head gasket, and sealed down here with a couple O-rings. Anyway, so that's the sleeve. It's in kind of rough shape. This is the piston that was in cylinder number 2. These number 2 and number 3 compression rings were movable, and the oil ring was also movable, but that top compression ring, that was in there tight. and you can see a lot of buildup and junk in there. That piston was tight in the cylinder. It didn't want to come out. But the good news is there's no scoring. This wasn't like a temperature related seizure. This was just a time and rust related seizure. The rest of the engine looks real good. The main crank journal bearing, or the connecting rod journal bearings look good. The rest of the block looks good. The head looks good. I'm going to show you how the head's looking. Here's the rest of the cylinders, by the way. This was number 2, or excuse me, number 1, and these rings are all loose. You can kind of see that. And but still, even number 1's sleeve was in kind of rough shape. But there's that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here's the exhaust manifold. I still haven't got to the carburetor yet. It was sitting up like this, so the muffler was attached to up right there, and rainwater just got in there. And then these are the 2 ports that most of the rainwater just came right down here and right into here. These 2 are still kind of gritty, rusty. I cleaned a lot of it out, but they had a lot of rust and debris and junk in there. And this stuff, this rust, was sitting on top of the pistons. You know, there was a bunch of it in here that had fallen down on top of the pistons. I'll insert a picture so you can see it. Pause. Okay, hopefully I inserted that picture so you can see. Anyhow, whatever that stuff was, I guess it's just I don't know, maybe metal or rust from here. There's still a little bit you can see right there. It's not perfect, but it's, you know, it's clean enough. This is that's where most of the water, you know, went into these 2. Looks like maybe some went into this guy and this guy, but I think most of them went into here. But in any case, so I cleaned up the head, and the head looks fine. There's no cracks in it. It's needs a little bit more cleaning, but the head looks just fine. There's hopefully the thermostat in there somewhere. Anyhow, so this is where we're at right now. There's still a little bit of coolant that was still in there. I'm going to lap these valves, take them out, lap them, make sure we have a good seal before I put that together. But and rebuild that carburetor. So I already have parts coming. I have the head gasket coming, and the oil pan gasket is coming. I think it's coming today. And then sometime over the weekend, I have new pistons, rings, sleeves, pins, and here are those O-rings that were on the bottom. There's 8 of them, 2 per cylinder. I have new O-rings coming. So these were looking pretty flat. They're not real hard, they're not real brittle, so they still were probably sealing pretty good. So I might have got away with just honing these guys, but whatever, I'm gonna go this far. I'm gonna put new parts in. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Just wanted to let you know where we are and where we're going. So in the next couple days, I hope to have this engine together, and I hope to take more video and show you. Thanks for watching. Bye.